Let's take a look at how these turned out. Need to do that again. I feel like I'm jumping on a horse. I'm out here filming all the time because I know that it's worth, the information that I have to give is worth something. People call you crazy or delusional. It's only until you're consistent with it, at which point you're going to be called a visionary. They'll always call you crazy until you make it, and then they'll say, I knew they could do it. Here's the thing, though. For the longest time, we have all believed that celebrities are the only people worth listening to, or that X, Y, and Z famous person are important. But the only difference between their fame and your greatness is quite literally the amount of money and time that's been poured into producing that person versus how much time and energy have you spent producing yourself as a brand or an actor or an influencer or a voice of authority. Most people that I've talked to don't ever make those thoughts. They don't have those thoughts. They don't consider, well, how do I earn the right to make the criticisms or suggestions that I do? Something that has been pretty obvious to me since the beginning of social media. Now, I've been doing this since 2011, 2012. And there are trends, there are ebbs, there are flows, there are ups, there are downs. But when businesses, companies, people, whoever end up actually putting genuine thought or effort behind what it is that they're creating and presenting to the online world so that it has value to somebody, when people make those thoughtful kind of efforts, it ends up showing, right? And if there's one thing that we're learning right now, it's the influencer culture is dying. It is finally being recognized for what it is. It's all hype. There's no value. There's no real value that influencers truly bring the businesses that I've worked with, at least the restaurants and such. It's cool if you want the hype. But if you want long money and return visitors and guests that you can build a reputation and a brand on, using influencers to hype it up for the other people that just want to go somewhere that's hyped up, that's not how you do it. You do it with quality. You do it with care. You do it with attention to detail and a genuine love of what you're doing. It's so easy to tell who is forcing content online and who isn't. So many women that I follow, they think that posting themselves in whatever kind of skin showing outfit it is, but they have some sort of positive message behind it. I get it. It's your way of flexing on multiple different points. But here's the thing. Anybody that's looking at that just knows what you're doing. They know that you're forcing it. They know that you're thirst trapping. You're just trying to, get the attention. The interesting thing is you'll never hear from the people. Oftentimes, you'll never hear from the people that value it the most or actually respect you. What you will hear from, if you're a woman, is really, really, really thirsty guys that are just trying to hit. Because guess what? That's the type of content that they are perceiving you to post. So it doesn't matter if you want them to think that or not. It does not matter what you want. It does not matter what I want. It matters, did I take the time to go ahead and say the things that I meant to say? Did I show myself in a way that I was proud of? Did I build, not destroy? Am I putting value out there for a reason bigger than just the attention aspect? The amount of followers shouldn't matter that you have. The amount of likes that you get should not matter. These numbers, they're all bullshit, right? Sure, they measure how many people are seeing things, but is that the only reason that you're creating content, is so that other people will like you, appreciate you, approve you? That should never be the reason we do anything. We should never do it for somebody else. We should do it because it's either what we feel called to do, we feel fulfilled doing it, brings us joy. Now, I'm not saying to be a hedonistic kind of person and just chase the things that you like that make you feel good, because that's dangerous. But the things that make you feel fulfilled, the things that bring you peace, the things that bring you joy, those things are not bad. We've all been taught that we need to chase the excitement, and we need to run away from the disappointment and those feelings by drinking or doing drugs or whatever it may be. Fact of the matter is that is not helpful. We've lost how to process our thoughts and our emotions. And what that's doing is that's causing a lot of pain and suffering in our lives. But the best way to get out of that is just to admit that you might not know everything the way you think you do. And it's okay to be wrong. In fact, the sooner you can admit you're wrong, the better. The sooner you can admit you don't know what the fuck you're doing, the better. The sooner that you are open to allowing somebody else to help you reach goals when you never expected that to ever happen, that's what builds a flow and what can build a brand and what can build a person's self-worth. I've been talking for almost a decade about why bartenders need to be on camera. I've been interviewing people about what hospitality is to them for almost a decade, whether it be when I first started with a camera, rolling silverware and folding napkins at Novikov, to just tonight where I went by Red Phone Booth after work and talked to the boys for about an hour about some different hospitality things. Bartenders, servers, anybody that's in the hospitality industry has an opportunity to create a personal brand. Now that sounds cringe as fuck, don't get me wrong. I know that. But I also know that depending on somebody else's scheduling or decisions for you to earn a paycheck is really fucking frustrating, especially if they're not able to understand you and they're not able to work with you. Those kind of things will make you feel crazy. When I was working at Novikov, the boss that I had at the time, who coincidentally trained me at Zuma years before, told me, Tex, do you think that maybe you're thinking too far ahead for the guest? At which point I was like, are you what? I never expected to hear that from that guy. Meanwhile, he was supposed to be the business partner of a chef and his wife who were doing Michelin-style pop-up dinners, and instead they asked me to go ahead and be their partner. So just because you don't see what somebody else is doing that's thoughtful and you think that they're thinking too far ahead or you think that they care too much about something, let that be a lesson to check yourself and say, what are you not seeing? What am I not seeing that this person is after? What am I not seeing that they see? Let me be just open to letting them do their thing and seeing what happens. But in hospitality, in honest and honorable hospitality, you can't expect anybody to appreciate what you're doing. You just have to do your damnedest to bring them an experience that you know meant something. I mean, fuck, dude. Tips aren't based on how much extra stuff you did for them or if you followed this letter of the rule book or whatever. You know, it's based on how you make them feel. How a guest feels when they leave the venue that you work at is why they tip the way they do. Did you make them feel seen, heard? Did you make them feel like a person, like they were the star of the show while they were there? If you didn't, why didn't you? You just lost opportunities to go ahead and build. If you're in hospitality and you somehow get frustrated at things that people say, guess what? You can be the best in the world, but this is not an industry where you're going to live long enough to get to where you want to get to. The amount of people I see in hospitality that do not know how to manage people or do not know how to manage their emotions when people say certain things, they live miserable lives. They're always upset about something. Nothing's ever going right. And no matter how hard they try, they can never make people see what they're trying to get them to see. And duh, guess what kind of things come around people that always bitch, complain, and never open themselves up to new things? Guess what? More of that kind of thing. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of the things that you're dealing with, then do something different. And sometimes that means making a decision that's 180 degrees different than what you would have ever considered. Why? Why not? Why the fuck not? What do you have to lose? To everybody that I've ever tried to do a photo shoot with, it was never about the photo shoot. It was my way of trying to break into your mind and start building your self-worth by planting seeds of like awesome qualities about you. Meanwhile, you're distracted by seeing yourself on the camera. That's my way of thinking far enough ahead to get ahead of people's natural defenses, especially the intelligent ones. But if you're not putting out solutions to problems that you're finding in hospitality, guess what? You're missing out. To all the ladies that are the most humble women in the world, the Ferraris of women, please, dear God, can you start talking to the camera? Your opinions matter. And the confidence that you have and build releasing